In this video, I've got a Panasonic PC14X41R. This is a 14-inch CRT television that has developed a problem in the video circuit. And the fact that the video is very low. Chroma is good, but video is low. So in this video, we're going to take a look and see if we can find the problem and get it back in operation. This is my patio TV that sits out on my patio year-round, out in the weather. And it looks like we've developed a bit of a video problem because that picture is very dark. But as you'll see, the on-screen display is nice and bright. But the video itself is fairly weak. So we have a low video problem on here. And we're going to see if we can get this thing looking like $1 million bucks. Because it used to look great. But something's happened to it over the winter. Maybe something's crawled in there and shorted something out. But we'll take the back off this thing and see whether we can figure out what's going wrong with this one. As you can see, it seems to be, it almost seems like there's no green. The video level's low. Well, there it is with the back off. We'll reconnect. I see a little bit of rust starting to form on the tuner, but hey, that's to be expected. This thing's been outside pretty much year-round since I think maybe the summer of 2010. So it's been outside for about 7 years. I never bring it in. Right, I just leave it. It's not like it's sitting out in the rain, but it certainly is. It's under the overhang, but I don't cover it up or anything. I just leave it sitting outside because I use it when I'm barbecuing and stuff to watch the news. But as I say, it's been fine up until recently. The set was manufactured in 1991, and when I got it initially, it had water damage. That's how I ended up with the set. The person that owned it had a plant sitting on top of it and watered the plant and, well, watered the TV. Once I repaired the set, or gave them an estimate to repair it, and told them I could not guarantee it, they brought the TV in thinking it was covered under warranty, and we had to explain to them that water damage is not warranty. So when I gave them a cost to repair it and told them that there would be no further warranty on it, well, they abandoned it, and I got it for free when it was brand new. Basically, it was about 2 weeks old when I got it, and I didn't even replace the IC that had the pins burned off. I soldered wires to it to make it work, and it's been fine ever since. In fact, if I pull the board out here, you can probably see the work that I did on the board to fix the vertical problem. If I find the vertical IC here, probably still see the repair work I did on it all those years ago. There's where the water damage was, right down there. You can see the corrosion on the board. Right down there, it was all corroded. Cleaned that up. That was all that was wrong with it after it got watered. Anyway, let's plug this thing in and see if I can see why the video signal is weak. Now, of course, I don't need to remind you guys, maybe I do. This is a hot chassis, so you want to service these on a isolation transformer. Hang on a sec. I have to do some mosquito control. There's one buzzing around me here. I got the zapper out. Okay, so let's just try a few things on this set first of all. I'm checking to see if this one has a setup switch. Some of these TVs had a setup switch to collapse the vertical to allow you to do the bias adjustments. Sometimes those switches get dirty and killed the video. And let's get to figure out where that switch is, if this set even has one. Some of these sets didn't, but most of them did have a service switch on them. I don't see anything when I bounce the circuit around, so nothing loose. Okay, one of the first things they need to do is determine whether I have control over my brightness, contrast, etc. So I'm going to bring up the menu here and we'll try making adjustments. Oops, that's not the right control. brightness. Let's see if I can adjust it down and up. Okay, so we know that the brightness control does have effect. Let's go to picture. Is the picture control, does it have effect? Aha! Oh, that's interesting. So, what have we learned from that? The picture control doesn't appear to be affecting the picture. So what could be the cause? Well, how this works is that the main microcontroller sends a signal to the video processor to tell it to increase or decrease the contrast in the picture. So sometimes what will happen is you'll get little ceramic capacitors that are on the buffer the voltage coming out of the chip, because it's a pulse width modulated signal. So they filter that to produce a DC voltage. So if the DC voltage isn't changing going into the main processor, you won't get control. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look up the pinout for the video IC, and we'll take a look at the control voltage for the various circuits. But now I've got it narrowed down. If I go to color, for example, where's color? I'm sure that the color control will affect the color, which it does. So we know that that one works. And the tint looks like it's changing the tint, so we know that that one works. And we know that the brightness works. The only one that's not working is the picture. When I turn the picture control down, it's not making any changes, other than I just changed the channel. My buttons here are getting moisture in them, so they're getting some resistance when I press the switches. How these change channels is it changes the resistive load to the input. They basically just have two input lines, and they put the switch. Each switch has a resistor that it measures the resistance on the input line to determine the function. And anyway, the picture control is not working, so we need to look up and find out which control line controls that going into the video processor. So let me look that information up. Now if we look down into this area here, it looks like that maybe I see some corrosion here. Maybe some moisture had got into this. It's causing a short. This is what I'm thinking, you see. I'm thinking we have leakage. We have a short somewhere, and that's what's causing my loss of control. This chip here, the MN1515014, this is the controller chip, and the other chip over here, the AN5160, that is the jungle, the YCJ as it's called, the Lumichroma jungle chip. So that does all the video processing. It has the IF circuit for the tuner. It has the Lumichroma separation and your color control, tint control, sharpness, brightness, contrast. Everything's all controlled in here. It receives a signal from the CPU, and the signals from the CPU get filtered and sent over to the YCJ chip, and then from there it acts on it. Just looking at the board here, it probably is a connection problem down in here. Some leakage maybe on the board down in this area here. I see some corrosion, so this is probably where the problem is on this set. But let's look up the chip itself so I can actually trace it back and see why it's not working. Okay, I've got my pin out for the IC, and the ones that are of interest to us is pin number 40, which is the contrast input. As you can see, if we take a look at the IC pinout, I'll zoom the camera in here so you guys can see it a bit better. Okay, we look at the IC pinout here, we'll see that the chroma processing here takes analog signals in on pin 40, 41, and 42, and pin number 50, which is the brightness, which that actually goes up to the luminance amplifier. The other one's going to the chroma processing. So these voltages, that mosquito's still in there, I gotta kill it before it bites me. These voltages should vary when I tweak the menu for the different menu states. For contrast, for example, we should see the voltage changing when I adjust it on pin number 40. Pin number 41 for the color and pin number 42 for the tint. We know that the other ones work, so I'm not going to check them, but I am going to check pin number 40 and we'll see whether we get the voltage shift. And if we don't, then we have to look back further and find out why. We'll just trace it back and see where it goes. So I'm going to turn on the set. And yes, I am plugged into an isolation transformer here, so I'm not going to get a shock. We'll just take a look at the voltage off of that chip. I think you guys can see the meter in the shot there. And I'm just going to look for pin number 40 here. Pin number 40 right there. And I don't see any power on there at all. Let's try turning up the contrast if I can find it here. Color, tint, brightness, picture. Okay, this is the one that should go up and down, and I think I missed it there. Change the channel. Let's get back on a color bar channel. Okay, picture level. Well, that should be up all the way, and I should have some voltage on pin number 40 here. And I have 1.3 volts, which I think is a little low. If I go to the next pin over, this is the color one, or is it tint? Which one is the next one over? Color. Pin 41 is color. Pin 41. Okay, now when I shift, this one should be I think this is the tint that I'm on now. Oh, come on. Stupid headset things. This is the tint that I'm on now. So if I shift this one, yeah, see the voltage goes down and the voltage goes up. And when it goes up to like 4 volts. And I changed my channel. But anyway, there's a voltage swing there, and if I go back, that's the tint. So if I go back over to the contrast one, which is this one here, you can see you got 1.3 volts on there. Now if I switch this back to, come on, get over to where I want. These controls are so bad. Picture. Okay, now if I start turning it down, our voltage does drop. I turn it back up, but it never comes back up to, well, I guess it does. It goes up to 2.5 volts. So we have control. Interesting. So it's not what I thought. It's not that we don't have control, because as you can see, the voltage is going up and down. We have a low video signal. And now I don't even have any vertical because I turned it down and I've lost my vertical. Interesting. So we have another problem. I was sure it was going to be corrosion causing loss of the control voltage, but no, we have another problem on this thing we have to look into. As you can hear, I've killed the vertical. I wonder if I bring up my screen whether that'll, no, you see? Interesting. So just by pushing the menu button and guessing, I got back to the picture control and I was able to bring it back a bit, and that got the video signal on. So I'm gonna have to investigate this a bit more. This is a little more involved than I first thought. I can't help think that I'm back into the ABL circuit like the last time when that picture could, just the way that it flickered and jumped like that, it almost reminds me of the symptom that was similar to the last time when I replaced a resistor. There's a couple of resistors in that circuit, so I'm going to go back and revisit that. I've got the camera on a wide shot here so we can look at the voltage on the meter here. And I'm just going to turn the set on, but it was on, and stick my fingers in here into the high voltage and just do some measuring. So here we have 187 volts. This is the resistor I replaced before. Now there's another resistor here that is fed off at its R555, and it's this one right here. And I have 0.2. I think that's a little bit low. It's feeding off a 184 volt supply. And I don't think it's supposed to be 0 volts. Let's get a look at that and see whether that one is open. It's in the same circuit as the last time this set failed, but it's a different resistor. The last time this set failed, it was R554, I think it was. 554, yes, it's been replaced. And then it goes from 554, 555 is in series with 554, and it leads off to, where does it go? It's an automatic beam limiter circuit, ABL. But it branches off. I'll get a close up here of this part of the circuit. So this is the area that we're working on right in here. This is the resistor that was changed the last time, and this is the one here next to it that I think we may have a problem with this time. So I'm just going to remove it, and I go to measure it in circuit, and I'm seeing voltage across it because it's like it's open. So we'll just disconnect one leg of it, that way I can measure it and see whether that resistor has indeed gone open. I have a feeling it probably has. So the resistor in question is this one right down here. It's right next door to the one I changed on this set a couple of years ago. Here's the one I changed, right there. And this one here is right next to it. The color code on that, if you guys can see it, looks to be brown, yellow, which would make it 110K. So I'm just waiting for the iron to heat up. We'll remove that resistor, or I'll pull it right out. It's a little 1/8 watt jobby. So these things go open, quite often. They fail. But anyway, let's get this resistor. I'm going to pull it out and we'll measure it. I think that might be the problem on this set. It was just too much of a coincidence when I ran the contrast all the way down like that and the picture started just jumping and flickering. It looked too much like the symptom on the last fault that this set had, which was a flickering picture, if you remember. So let's get the solder wick here. Don't worry, the set's turned off. I'm not working on it live. It's unplugged while the power's off to the Variac. So. Okay, that should be ready to come out of the circuit. I'll find something to pull it with. Okay, meter. Put this in ohms mode. I do believe that resistor is only slightly open. It's 110K. As you can see, nothing if I short the probes. That's just skin resistance that's causing that. I was touching, see? It's open. 110K, let's put a new one in. I bet you that fixes this problem on this set. And since resistors is not an exacting science, and I don't have 110K, but I do have 100. I do have a 100K, so that'll have to do. I'm sure it'll be just fine. Just do a real beautiful job of mounting that resistor, just to piss off all my viewers. They're gonna give me shit for not mounting it right. So just for you guys, I'm going to do a shoddy job of mounting it. How does that sound? Because it's my TV that's going out in my backyard again, and I don't give a damn if it lasts or it breaks again. If it breaks again, they'll just give me something to fix. There we go. That's soldered in place. Okay. Moment of truth. The moment of truth. Did I or did I not fix it with the first component that I tried? Power. Oh gee, I think I fixed it. Where's my channel change here? Come on. Go down to color bars. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got it going here. Just turn this color level down a bit. I got everything cranked up. So we'll just bring things back down to a bit more normal level here. Tint, yeah. Bring that back. Brightness, picture. Whoops, I wasn't supposed to do that. My switches here. Picture. Looking great. Okay, get the circuit board put back in. And that looks pretty good. I don't think I need to do any adjusting on this thing. I think the color on this thing looks pretty good. I'll just check my master screen level here. See how my master screen is. I was playing with it, so it might be a little too high. That looks pretty good right there. I think we can call it a day. So we'll just change channels on this thing and see how something else besides color bars. Color bars look pretty good. I have to say that that looks really good.
Probably shout, scream, or maybe call for help. Well, it happened to a woman in Wisconsin who didn't do...
Yeah, it looks good. Looks excellent. I would say that this TV is fixed. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.